Hi. This is a bit of a bittersweet episode for me, this one, because it was one that I was going to record a couple of weeks ago. It's episode 100. I can't believe I'm already at episode 100 of the podcast. I just thought I would share a few milestone moments and some of the things that I have learnt and experienced over the last year or so, a little bit over a year now, of podcasting. So I was going to record this episode a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately we lost my dad, which has been obviously really tough. It's been a tough 6 months, actually. He's been poorly for a while, and he sadly passed a couple of weeks ago. So I have had a couple of weeks of not recording a podcast, obviously, and I just wanted to come back in. I just wanted to come back today and record this episode that I had planned for a couple of weeks ago and just, say hello, really. So in Buzzsprout, which is the podcast platform that I use, a podcast hosting platform that I use, you get badges every time you hit different milestones. And I hit a couple of weeks ago. So obviously episode 100 will be a milestone. I'll get a new badge for this one. And also I hit 7,500 downloads a couple of weeks ago as well. So that's another one where you get a new badge. And it's exciting. And I have to celebrate those milestones. I quite often forget to take a pause and to actually acknowledge beyond a fleeting sort of moment that there are these milestones, and it's good to hit them. When I looked this morning, I'm actually up at 7,700 downloads now, and that's without promoting it on social media or paying for ads. So obviously the irony of it always starts in the Facebook group, but I don't actually promote the podcast anywhere on social media or pay for any ads or anything for it. So I'm really proud of that fact. It was one of the things that when I first started the podcast, I made that decision that I would promote it outside of social media. It's a big part of what I do. There's quite a few episodes around the fact that social media is optional and it shouldn't be the first priority in terms of our marketing in our business. I thought I would just share a few thoughts about how it's been with podcasting, really. So I think one of the big things that I have noticed from actually doing the podcast, coming on live, recording, editing it, and I just do light edits really before I actually turn it into the audio recording of it, basically. One of the big things it has done is helped with my confidence. It's massively helped me to trust my own voice and to trust the fact that I can deliver this. And I have mentioned this a few times in the past as well, about the fact that I have this voice in my head that whenever I'm talking, it's always telling me you're rambling, you're stumbling your words and all those sort of things. That negative inner critic is there all the time. And from listening to the podcasts and as I've actually been editing them, it's really helped me to understand that even though that voice is there all the time, when I listen back to it, it's not true. I can tell myself and I can see that actually it's not true. I listen to it and it sounds okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. That was one of the things with the podcast, is that I deliberately didn't want it to be perfect. Done is always better than perfect. So that was all part of it as well. But it's okay. The voice in my head is not true. And that has been a massive confidence boost. Not only in terms of actually recording the podcast, but also even doing things like standing up live or delivering content in my membership, all of those kind of things. That there are things that are definitely like Julesisms, and I'm okay with those as well. I know I do quite often go off on a tangent, or I will forget mid-sentence what I'm saying, and it's all right. Nothing bad happens when that happens as well. So that's probably been the biggest thing, is the confidence that it's given me from recording the podcasts and from listening back to them. I always listen to the edited version as well, just purely because I think anything where we can hear our own voice talking back to us in a positive way, I think is really good for self-esteem, and especially for women who quite often do berate themselves and really put themselves down. So many people say, I hate the sound of my voice. And I feel like I felt a little bit like that before this, but I'm all right with it now. It's good. It's all good, really. Consistency is one of the things that this has definitely helped me with as well. Showing up pretty much every week has been really helpful for me. Just turning up I usually record these on a Friday morning in my Facebook group and just turn up live and do them. And that has been really helpful. Having that consistency of Friday being podcast day. It's Thursday today. I've lost all days over the last couple of weeks, really. But yeah, turning up and doing that consistently is one thing that I have been really regimented with doing. I was doing the Friday lives even before I started the podcast, and that actually helped me, because then I had back catalogue of content as well that I turned into episodes. So that helped me very quickly to get a lot of episodes live straight away and just get the confidence and get the ball rolling with the podcast, really. So it became something that was not going to fizzle out and was then not optional for me in my business. This is a non-negotiable. It's also helped me to, from having these podcast episodes, it's helped me to email my list every week as well. So email my subscribers. I try not to do it as just a drop of this is a new episode live. I try and actually sort of connect that with what I am actually talking about in the podcast and hopefully make it more helpful. I always do a top tip of the week as well, which people have told me they like those. But actually just doing that consistently has been really, really helpful. I finally changed my email over to my new business name in FEA Create, and I'm warming up my new email list at the moment. So if you get an email from me, please hit reply and say hi, because it does help to warm it up. So I think definitely embracing the imperfection of it as well. One of the things that I found I tripped myself up with was after maybe about, 3 or 4 months, maybe 6 months even, of recording episodes, I got to the point where I was kind of over planning them, really. So I got, again, little gremlin in my own head of thinking, is this enough? Is it helping people enough? Is it giving them too much information? Is it giving them action steps to do? And I kind of got a bit into over planning it, and that then robbed some of the joy away from it for me, really. I think just remembering that I am here to help people just make small tweaks to their website and to help them just to understand a few bits. Even if you understand one thing from each episode or from every other episode, if it helps one thing to click in terms of how to get your website working for your business, then that's great. That's a win. There are podcasts out there that are just purely for entertainment, but actually I know that people tell me this is helpful for them. So hopefully just getting past that and trying to, again, make it not perfect. Just turn up with a few notes. I've got a few little notes here of what I want to talk about, and just trust in myself that I'll be all right. And I will, even if I do ramble a little bit, it will still be okay and still be useful and valuable to people as well. And there are definitely some episodes that if I did listen back to them now, they probably would make me feel a little bit like, oh, I could tell that one was really scripted. Not that I ever had it completely scripted, but just, I think there are definitely like some of the ones that I've recorded in my car where I've just been sat and just chatting in the car, I think are some of the best episodes that I've got out there, really. So I think there's definitely embracing that part of it and not worrying so much about it being perfect and spot on, definitely. One of the things that I love about the podcast as well is that, like, the form of marketing it is in my business. So I've had clients come in and they come onto discovery calls and they say, oh, I feel like I know you, Jules, because you've been in my ear for the last few weeks or few months or whatever. And that makes a massive difference, I think. If people understand what you're like and they've heard your voice, they've heard you talk in a really natural way. And I'm the same on my discovery calls as I am here on the podcast. I think it makes a big difference to people just trusting you. And yeah, it's definitely been helpful for me in terms of bringing people in. It's brought me clients from across the world as well, which I love. I work with a lot of people internationally, and it's one of those things that I don't really take stock of, don't really think about. I think because I've got a lot of connections in the US, it just naturally happens that I get clients coming in from over there. And when I talk to people when I'm doing local networking, they're like, well, you've got an international podcast. And it's funny, it's because I don't really sort of think about that, really. But it has been helpful for that in terms of bringing people in. And I think podcasting in general, not just my own podcast, but I think actually appearing on other people's podcasts as well. I had a new client come in a couple of months ago who had found me on the very first podcast I was on, when I was on Adam Chatterley's Beauty Business Secrets podcast, and that was from 2 years ago. So it's a real form of slow marketing that once you record those podcast episodes and they're out there, then they're out there forever, and it's associated with your name. It's all of those things of actually building up your reputation as the authority on what you talk about. Having the podcast episodes out there as well has also helped to build my website traffic, because it means that there are links coming into my website from elsewhere on the internet. And it also means that there are different places on the net where I talk about what I do, where my bio is out there in different places as well. And that's across not just my own podcast, but also the podcasts that I've been a guest on as well. And that's something I really want to do more on, is actually getting out there onto other people's podcasts and just spreading the word about the power of SEO. I talk to so many people who have no idea about SEO and what it is and what it does for you, for your business. And actually, if I can get out there and spread the word about that, then all the better, really. It just helps women to actually use their website more effectively in their business. So it's more of sort of an evergreen marketing channel in my business. I like the fact that you don't get the dopamine hit that you get with social media, where you put something out there and it either is a big hit or it's not. I like the fact that it is different with podcasting. It is more of a slow, passive marketing strategy. I say passive. It could be a combination of both, really, because if you are getting out there or getting yourself guesting on other people's podcasts, then that's definitely more of an active form of marketing. And with using Buzzsprout, I can change my intro and my mid-roll and my outro for my podcast, and that feels more active. I love it when I change those. I really feel like I am doing some really active marketing in my business, because that means that goes across all of the episodes. So if somebody comes in and they listen to episode 1 or the most popular episodes, then they're going to hear that latest thing that's going on in my business. And that's part of the reason that I chose Buzzsprout as a platform to use, because you've got that option of doing that. So I like that. It is evergreen as well. It's one of those things that the podcasts are out there and will stay out there forever. So it's having the show notes on the episode descriptions. I've got links to my website from there, and making sure that is actually stuff that will always be current. So not using URLs that are then going to disappear. That's also really helpful. It means that my whole library of content, helping my website work better. And also those episodes then I can and I have turned into blogs or blogcasts on my own website. And I don't do it with every episode. I firmly believe that we don't need to just keep churning out content for the sake of it. So I think it's much more important, if you've got a podcast and you want to use it on your own website, to make sure that you're using those specific episodes that are most relevant and most important and most sort of authoritative to get your message across, really. So you don't have to do it for every episode, but actually having those, and maybe even having playlists on your own website of your podcast, can be really helpful as well. We've got some specific episodes that have been the most popular. I had a little look this morning. This has kind of stayed the same, really. So throughout, it's always these episodes have always stayed near the top, even with new episodes coming out there as well. So episode 39, which is the biggest website and SEO mistakes I see and how to avoid them. That's the one that has always been the most popular. That one still is now. It's had the most number of total downloads, and each week I see that one has been downloaded. I think it might even be that somebody has searched for SEO mistakes or something like that, or searched even for SEO in a podcast player platform, and that has brought that one up. Or even on Google, that will also show up on Google, those episodes. And then the episodes around AI have been popular as well, which obviously it's a big thing at the moment. People are really thinking about how they can get recommended in AI, how they can use AI to help make their business easier, make their lives easier. And the second most popular episode is actually how I use AI in my personal life, from meal planning to mindset coaching. So that was episode 47. So one from a while back. And so, yeah, that one is quite a good episode. I use AI for everything. I really do. It's like my personal assistant. I say about the robot butlers, and we're close to having robot butlers at some point. And I feel like ChatGPT is already a little bit like that as well. So have a listen to that episode if you want to find out how I use AI to help me personally. And then episode 85 was the next most popular one, which was, can AI find your business? So this is one where I did a trial of ChatGPT, Gemini and Perplexity, and just looked at them and looked at a local business and whether it's actually showing up in those search results. So all of the AI episodes have had a lot of downloads and are the ones that are sort of the most popular right now, really. And the ones about mistakes, I think that's the big thing, is that there's a couple of episodes around mistakes and they're sort of near the top as well. So I think one of the big things is how much things have changed since I started the podcast. Even just, when did I start? June last year, so June 2024. Even since then, things have changed in terms of the world of search. AI search was around then, and people were obviously using ChatGPT then, but it wasn't massively on the radar. It was definitely one of those things that it's it's over even the last 6 months, I think it's been massively elevated how much people are actually recognizing they need to look at how can I show up in ChatGPT, how can I show up in AI search. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be focusing on moving forward, is making sure that you can understand exactly how to get your business to show up, not just in Google search, but also in AI and all of the changing worlds of search that are out there and are coming out there now. So over the next 100 episodes or so, I want to focus on that, focus on blending the foundations of SEO and what you need to do for the basics to get a website that's working and is also converting, because we're not just talking about getting traffic, we're also talking about making sure that we make the most of that traffic so people take the action that you want them to take on your website. So blending that with the future focused stuff as well. So me doing the research, listening to all the SEO geeks that I follow and passing that information on to you, hopefully in simple bite-sized ways that you can then just make some small tweaks to your website that can help you then with navigating both of those things really. I will keep showing up consistently. I will keep doing it honestly and just as I am really, and that's my goal, is just to be here and to support you. So let me know if you have any questions or if you have any episodes you would like me to cover. I would love to cover some stuff around FEA Create and high level, so let me know if that would be helpful for you as well. If you'd like a little mini series around that, then I could always do some episodes around that. And I think it's just to say thank you for listening, whether you've been here for one episode or 100, then thank you. I want you to I'd love you to use that. Actually, what can you do to help increase your confidence? So if you feel like you hate listening to your voice, if you feel like you don't like going live, you don't like recording videos, my encouragement would be to do it and listen back to it with a kind and compassionate heart, and hopefully it might do the same for you. It's done for me. It's helping me to increase my confidence, increase my self-compassion, which is definitely something I often lack, that compassion to myself. But actually this has been massively helpful for me for doing this really. And I think it's been a real reminder over the last couple of weeks, it's been a real reminder to me of why I started my business and why I wanted that flexible type of business that could bend and could be flexible when life takes over and I need to take some time and need to have that more sort of flexibility. If you know somebody who needs help with their website and you think that actually this could be really helpful for them, then please share it. That's how it helps the podcast to grow. As I say, I don't promote it on social media or pay for ads or anything. So I promote it through me talking about it and other people talking about it, and through my email list, and from getting on other people's podcasts as well. So if you know a podcast that you feel would benefit from me coming on and talking about SEO and helping people to understand that, then let me know. But it's all about helping you strengthen the foundations, keeping an eye on what's changing, whether that is AI search or whatever comes next. Who knows what's going to come next in the world of search, in the world of websites. But it's all about helping you to get more traffic and more sales through your website. And if you'd like a little more support with that, then come and join the Website Growth Club or book a power hour and let's get your website working for your business. So I hope you found the last 100 episodes helpful. Thanks for listening. And as I say, if you do like it and you want to support the show, then please just share it with a friend. It's what helps us the most, really. So take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.